It's one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you by yourself and you just cruising on the highway, man. Yeah, this got me thinking. On that cap.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Arizona Cardinals and the number 10 overall pick, Josh Rosen from UCLA, do battle with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
A big welcome back here for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now Rosen, his pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing.
And he fights his way in, not giving up, and it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Mahomes now to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And a nice gain of 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing deep here for Coleman. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rodgers. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Dawson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And now here comes Kansas City. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Williams. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ross. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Mahomes to throw on second down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now Mahomes. Throw left side complete. It's Ross. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Ware takes the give from Mahomes, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his first touchdown on the year, and the Chiefs add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along.
We're back now in KC. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
Now Rosen on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. His throw caught at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. 2nd and goal from the 1. And now it's Rosen looking. And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score.
All right, here we go.
On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This fielded at the 2. Pretty move. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Time for a break. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Williams. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
Mahomes to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now it's Rosen. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. From midfield now, here's Rosen. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 22, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He has been interception-prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
Mahomes going to throw it here. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Interesting. Mahomes wants to throw it. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting out and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one, it was pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively,